Professor Khurshid Ali's speech, I went back into 80s when we used to be in his class, and believe me, it was not only me, but even all other group in the students. We used to wait for his class. Why we used to wait for his class, although it was on statistics and research methodology, but he used to make it so interesting that we all used to wait, for his class. And if in any case he would not take a class someday, next day we would ask him, sir, why you have not taken our class yesterday? So much we used to be engrossed in his class. And the proof was the way Professor Masoodi already said, the way, in the simpler way, how he put up the facts about the what a leader should be, how a leadership should be, and so on. I once again, congratulate Professor Sangmi to think of it. It also carries weight. It carries weight about the legacy of Professor Khurshid Ali in his department and the institute as a whole. Otherwise, we know the politics of every institution. हम कभी किसी को याद भी नहीं करते हैं, नाम से नहीं याद करते हैं, and polls apart to bring that faculty into such an honor, it's a big thing, and it speaks how Professor Khurshid Ali has conducted himself, that he still has so much of respect in the institution, in his department, and amongst his colleagues. I think we all should learn from his personality, the way he has conducted himself. It speaks itself. Believe me, Professor Khurshid Ali has been excellent teacher throughout, and I had an opportunity to do a small project under him also when I was doing my MSc. I still remember literacy amongst women in Kashmir. I did that with him, and believe me, the type of perfection he used to put in, while correcting any paper it used to be full of his handwriting, do this, do that, and he used to correct. And believe me, I still follow his way of connecting, connecting the chapters with my PhD scholars or MPhil scholars, how to connect an introduction with the review of literature, with the research methodology, research of methodology, with results and discussion, and later on with recommendations and so on. So why I am saying this is definitely the teacher, the type of input teacher gives to the students, the student carries that legacy and gives that legacy to further to his students and scholars. I think it matters a lot, and it's a learning experience for everyone. He said that, he could see a ray of hope in me, but I said his class used to be so interesting, the type of effort he used to put in his lecture. It was not only me, but even the whole class used to be interested in listening to his lecture. He used to make it so, interesting. I remember we had a class at Maulana Azad Road, that time, and he used to be very punctual in his class, come on time and leave on time, and so on. And I do remember when we shifted to University of Kashmir, we had our director, Professor Rollins, and she was a very tough lady, from South as our director. It was not very easy to have association with her, because she was very strict, but she again chose him for delivering the lectures in Institute of Home Science, and he carried on for a very long time. I'll just quote one thing. Once Professor Sahaf Saab came to deliver some lecture in our institute. The type of tough lady she was that even the sound of the shoes she could not tolerate. Professor Sahaf was wearing some shoes, it had noise because we were there at Nasim Bagh time, all wooden type of corridors. She came out from her class, "Professor Sahab, you are disturbing my students. I am, in my class." Such tough she was. Why I am quoting it is, we have been groomed up, we have been trained in this type of atmosphere where punctuality, strictness, ethics was very important, and I think that we have carried on throughout our professional career. And if we have made visibility somewhere, it's because of this grooming and training that we have received. And believe me, throughout, I'll say about myself, throughout my professional career, throughout my academic career, my interaction has been with very good mentors, with very good teachers, by which I have learned a lot. I sometimes close my eyes and flash back and remember the things, this thing used to be there, this thing is not there now, we used to have this thing is not there now. So I'm sure these types of lectures will be very important. The scholars which we had here, the teachers we had, the students we had, definitely some takeaway with us by Professor Khurshid Ali's speech, some very good points to remember, which we will carry with us. With these words, I personally thank him for sparing his time and interacting with the faculty and the students in this auditorium. I could see that everyone was very interestingly listening, especially Professor Hussain Saab was sitting over there. I could see that he was very much engrossed and listening to his speech. So this makes a difference when a speaker makes his speech interestingly, the way he puts up, not in a bored mode. Audience becomes more interesting, and in a very simpler words he has put on, and I'm sure that we'll have some more lectures from him, in this auditorium, and which will be a learning experience for all of us. I once again congratulate the Department of Commerce for organizing this lecture, and definitely, I have told the other departments also we are going to have very soon memorial lecture of Professor Rahman Rahi, and I have told the other departments also that we should carry on. It should be the legacy, and definitely those who have retired from the university, those who have retired from the respective departments, definitely they have contributed to the system, they have contributed to the institution, they have contributed to the development of their respective departments. We should definitely have ties with them, try to motivate them to interact with the faculty, new faculty, to interact with our scholars, with our students, because definitely we will learn from them. With these words, thank you very much and congratulations once again.
Well, before coming to the dynamics of leadership, I will tell you that the term leadership is having universal applicability. Leader is, everybody is a leader. Everybody is a leader in his own capacity. An individual is a leader. A class teacher is a leader. Head of the department is a leader. Vice Chancellor of the university is the leader. And in our commerce terminology, a manager is a leader. Supervisor is a leader. Chief Justice is the leader. Chief Minister is the leader. Prime Minister is the leader. Everybody is the leader. So, what I want to tell you is that universal applicability of leadership is indicated because leadership exists in everybody and everywhere. Talking of an individual, say for example, it's a student. You are a student, for example. A leader has to perceive his goal. A leader has to perceive his goal and then set it and then attempt to achieve that goal. A student has a goal, an individual has a goal. Say, for example, I am a student, my goal is that I should qualify this particular examination, or I should get a job somewhere, this. Or then settlement of life, marriage, your marriage, etc., etc. You have perceived the goal, you have set the target, and then you have to achieve it. How best you are in a position to achieve the goal, to that extent will depend your leadership quality. If you are successful, you are a successful leader. If you are in a position to attain the goal, you are a successful leader. Similarly, the head of the family. Head of the family is also having various issues. Construction of a new house, settlement of children, purchasing of a car, purchase of TV, etc., etc. These are the issues before the head of the family. The objective, he says, right now we have to construct the building. Now, how you have perceived the idea, you have set the idea, now how to pursue it? How to pursue it? You have to pursue it. You are the leader of the family. If you are in a position to get the things done, you are the perfect leader. I'll be telling you a bit later, I'll be telling you as to who is the perfect leader, who is the great leader, who is the dynamic leader. A bit later, I'll tell you. Teacher of a class. You are a teacher, I told you earlier. Teacher of the class is the leader of the class. The teacher wants that every student should pass with good marks. He has to strive for it. He has to lay down the strategy for it. He has to teach the students like that so that they qualify with good marks. In the same way, the managing director, managers of enterprises, public and private enterprises, they have to contribute to the exchequer, how they can earn, they have to expand their activities, generate employment and things like that. Likewise, the Prime Minister, Chief Minister, they have to look for the overall development of the country. Overall development of the country, increasing the standard of living of people, diminishing corruption and the things like that. So what I wanted to tell you is that everybody is a leader. Everybody, it has universal applicability, everybody is a leader in his own capacity. In pursuit of the goal, how can you succeed? You can succeed when you are focused towards the goal. When you are focused towards the goal. I remember very recently the results of UPSC were out. One of the toppers stated that while preparing for the Central Services examination, I hired a room, and then in the room, on every corner, on every wall, I wrote with bold letters, IAS, IA everywhere, so that when I used to move out on the door, it was IAS. When I used to get in on the front of the wall, it was IAS. When I used to get up in the morning, everywhere on every side, it was IAS. That is focused. You have to be focused. Focused, and then you will strive. Don't get distracted. You will attain the goal, hopefully. There may be odds and obstacles. Yes, obstacles are there in our lifetime. Odds and obstacles are there, but you have to try alternative routes. Have you ever seen an ant running on the path If you put your finger in front of the ant will not override your finger. What it will do? Notice it. ये आजमा के देखो. The ant will move somewhere else, but again move towards crossing your finger. It will move from the other side and go towards its destination. This is when I said that odds and obstacles will be there, but have alternative routes. Have alternative routes, you will get there. Be hopeful. Be hopeful that you will get it. Whatever the objective you have set for yourself, be hopeful that you will get it. The objective will be attained by you. Because hope sustains life. Hope sustains life. If you are not hopeful of attaining the objective, then who will? But at the same time, mind it please. It's not necessary that you will get the object achieved. Therefore, remember, don't cling to a thing. अब इसी के पीछे मरना नहीं है. Formulate some another goal then. Hope is okay. You may or you may not achieve it. Don't cling to a thing. Set another goal for yourself. When you attain the goal, what happens? The goal that you had set for yourself. When you attain the goal, what happens? Come on, students. You attain a particular goal that you had set for yourself. What will you do? You will be happy. Simple. You will be happy that I have achieved it. I got first position. You will be happy. I got the job, desired job. You will be happy. God forbid if you do not get the goal achieved. If you do not achieve the goal, then what you will be? If you do not achieve the objective, what will be your reaction?
Will be
Upset. You will be sad, right? Don't be upset, don't be sad. Be happy again. Be happy again. Why? Because this failure has given you required experience to try afresh. It has given you have gained experience out of it. Therefore, failure should not depress you. It should not make you sad. It should make you happy that you have learned out of it, out of the failure you have learned.
My colleagues in the audience, it's in very simple words, Professor Khurshid Ali has given us a lot, and somebody has rightly said that simplicity is undoubtedly it should be one of the features of great leaders. In simple words, let me put it this way, that complex things he has put before us in a very simple way. I hope this will help us in our roles, whether we are in the form of leaders or in the form of followers. But one or two words about good leaders I would like to put before all of you is that flexibility is one of the important features of a leader. If a leader doesn't possess flexibility, that means he may not be in a position to deliver the way he is expected to deliver. And leaders should be in a position to, say, trickle down the organizational goals. All of us who are sitting here in this room, we should be very clear in our objectives to the extent the Honorable Vice Chancellor or any leader of any organization is. Say, for promotion of the organization all of us, whether we are leaders or we are followers, we should be very clear in the organizational goals. Then and only then we can achieve those objectives. And then those who are good followers can only be good leaders. Those who are not good followers can never be good leaders. With these brief words, I would like to thank Professor Khurshid Ali and thank all of you for being with us. Thank you very much.
It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all on this occasion where we are memorizing one of the great personalities of the country, Professor Habibur Rahman. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the department, with the advice of elders, decided that we should have a memorial lecture in honor of Professor Habibur Rahman. Professor Habibur Rahman was first, after his graduation in economics and BCom, he did IPS. He was one of the toppers in the UPSC list at that time. Then he joined administrative services as SP or SSP later. But remaining in police administration for some time, he gave up the services and went to Canada for further studies and did his PhD from Canada in one of the emerging areas that time, that was managerial economics. I remember once he told that he was one of the pioneers of managerial economics. During those times, the managerial economics was evolving and emerging as an area where management and economics were intersecting somewhere, and they developed along with Joel Dean. Joel Dean was a person who was an economist in Canada. Later on, he joined teaching department, Aligarh Muslim University. In 77 or 78, he joined the Department of Commerce, University of Kashmir, and consolidated the department which was formulated, which was established in the year 1970. You can well imagine that the department was in the formative years, and he gave a new shape to the department. And once we see this time the branch of the department, it has evolved, it has grown. Along with the team of Professor Rahman, Professor Khurshid Ali Sahab, who is our guest speaker, Professor A.R. Mattu Sahab, who was the founder, Professor Khurshid Khan Sahab, who is now no more, and Professor Nisar Ahmad Sahab. They were the earlier teachers of the department. Later on, other people joined, along with Professor Fayaz Sahab and Abdul Ghani and Khurshid Sahab, me, all others who are present now. But the journey of the department took from 70 up to late 80s. Then a lot of subjects were introduced along with MCOM, PhD, MPhil. There were postgraduate diploma in marketing management, because that time we did not have a separate management department studies, and postgraduate diploma in office management. And also we had had the privilege of coaching the professional examinations like Institute of Company Secretaries of India and Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India. That's why if we have somewhere in the UT of Jammu and Kashmir, the professional cost accountants or professional company secretaries who are operating right now, they are the alumni of our department, majority of them. Well, friends, we requested Professor Khurshid Ali Sahab to deliver the maiden Professor Habibur Rahman Memorial Lecture, because Professor Khurshid Ali Sahab is one of the earlier founders of the department. Second part, he is one of the pioneers of management education in this part of the country. I remember when I was a student of MCOM, he had written a paper in the magazine of the university, Management Education in Jammu and Kashmir. Need for management education in Jammu and Kashmir. That time, there was no concept of having MBA in this part of the country. Professor Khurshid Ali himself is MCOM from Aligarh Muslim University with a gold medal to his credit. 1969, somewhere 68, 69. Then he was selected in Jammu and Kashmir Bank as probationary officer. In fact, Jammu and Kashmir Bank conducted for the first time probationary officers examination, and Professor Ali had the privilege of getting the first rank in probationary officers of Jammu and Kashmir Bank, and joined the bank services for some time. Meanwhile, he also qualified KAS examination conducted by the government of Jammu and Kashmir Public Service Commission. But he preferred, meanwhile he was appointed in the university as a lecturer, he preferred teaching than the administration. Corporate administration, he preferred over that. That shows and that speaks his love for teaching and pedagogy. And in fact, it seems that God had created him to be the institutional builder. And later on, in 1991, he was the first founder of the Department of Management in the University of Kashmir.